Hey guys, it's Matt. Um, I do get a lot of comments. I say the same thing over and over again. Yeah, when you think you can see the path, the only path we have as individuals, collectively as humanity, when the only path is there, why would why would I say anything else? Why would I ever talk about anything else? What I did yesterday in talking about these ridiculous drummed up Paris riots was a waste. It's going backwards. I'm not doing it anymore. Looking at the tactics of certain events, saying this is system manipulation or this over here is fake or look at this shooting. That's going backwards. We can't afford to go backwards. Can't afford to go backwards. This is all what I'm going to present here. Many of you have heard before. But if I believe it's the only path for humanity, that's slightly important. It might be worth saying a few times. Don't you think? So, for those of you not convinced that this is potentially the only path for humanity, let me present it the best that I can, as clearly as I can, with one little new item that I have not talked about. I guess I will talk about the new item first for people that have heard this many times and people that are actually starting to practice it. There are many new people here. I assure you, most people here are not practicing any of this. The new bit that I've not gotten into, and I was kind of analyzing it and studying it, and I didn't want to present it too early, but are we in a race against time? And I don't, not putting fear out into the ether is critical. I'm not trying to do that. Okay, so and I'll relate that back in a moment. But I have to float this. And please do not be fearful. There is no reason to be fearful of anything. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but this is a segment or a slice of what's going on. The puppet master control system, whatever it is, we'll talk about it later. To me, it appears like they are trying to get us to manifest something. Okay? I don't like the way all these YouTube channels are going. It's now constant. Uh, Reset, create reset of life on Earth, uh, biblical flood, mud floods, reset of civilization, all this stuff all over the place. To me, as arrogant as it sounds, I don't care. To me, what's going on is simple. They can't create it themselves. We are confident of this now. It seems crystal clear. They can't create it. They can only bait the hook for us. They can only dangle the carrot for us. We have to do it. And because much of this tide that's taking through the truth community through YouTube is about civilization reset and all these major catastrophic events, I assure you the people that watch the world news with David Muir know none of this stuff. So they seem to be baiting the hook for us. Does that mean this group, not just people on this channel, but in general, we are the main reality creators? Potentially. Not baiting that hook for people that believe Wolf Blitzer's Situation Room is real and actually believe QAnon is going to save us and actually believe that the investigations into Russians hacked the election, Russians hacked the election, Russians hacked the election, Russians hacked the election, who believe that shit, they don't put the big juicy worm for those dummies. I think they do it for us. Maybe we are more effective reality creators. Now, let me throw the word out, quantum. Oh, it triggers everybody. Oh, the word quantum anymore triggers everybody. I'm going to get a comment from Ginny again, who works with John Lamb Lash. I don't care what you call it. It's pretty clear that whether it be individually or collectively, we create this reality. Literally. Now, if we don't create every bit of it, we have a tremendous tidal wave of an influence over reality itself. The evidence to that is overwhelming. Okay, I'm going to build an argument here. But of course, sorry, commenters, it's going to be the same old thing I've said over and over again. But when there's nothing on Earth, on this planet, more important than what I'm saying, then I'm going to say it over and over again. And I'm going to say it as long as this YouTube channel exists. Because this is the best and the most that I can do to help the cause. It's my contribution. Did I get a lot of it wrong? Who knows what parts are wrong, but I believe this, so I'm going to keep pushing this. Okay, we are literally reality creators. The simple, without a double slit experiment and a double split eraser experiment and all this stuff, the simplest way to see that that's true is look at the control structure. Look at the media, the George Bush creatures, the political structure, all this nonsense that surrounds us, the Ellen DeGenerate selfies, that system, what I've called the system, it works endlessly and tirelessly to bait the hook. Well, you said that before. Yeah, but there's nothing more important than this. To bait, Christians have read the Bible several times or many, many times. They think it's important. He's equating his work to the Bible. Oh my God. It's just everything I say now, I walk on eggshells because it's going to be used against me. They bait the hook. They dangle the carrot. They can't create it themselves. We've all heard this stuff. But why would they, if that wasn't true, why would they work tirelessly through every source of, movies, television, commercials, the hoopla around holidays, fashion, entertainment? They work tirelessly to move the herd as demonic shepherds. So we know they do that. Why do they care? They can print all the money they want. They can sit on the back of their yachts, perform their disgusting debauchery, sex acts, or whatever. They could just stick themselves, have their orgy parties, eyes wide shut. Why do they constantly in our business? It's obvious. They're constantly in our business, finger tentacles in our business, because we do something for them. Create reality. Feed them, literally feed them. Our energy goes out into the ether. Our attention, our fear, our anger goes out into the ether. The vampires suck from it. It gives them sustenance. We create or influence reality with the tidal wave that comes from us. So, okay, that's clear. Now, if you don't believe that, then you have nothing in common with this channel, and you should check out. Because what I did about covering the Paris riots and that tactical analysis bullshit is going backwards. I'm not doing that shit anymore. That's all an addiction we've all had. We have to, the addiction of looking into the fake shootings and looking into fake Elon Musk lone scum. The addiction of doing that. I agree, we're all addicted to that, but it's time to move past that. Okay, if you're addicted to that, you can go, to the 100 other YouTube channels that'll serve your addiction. So, okay, we need to build it. They need us to build it. I don't mean we need to build it from their perspective. They can't do it themselves. Okay. Now, in terms of all this catastrophic stuff all over YouTube, mud floods, reset, another global flood, they are trying to get us to manifest a cataclysm of some kind, in my opinion. Let me say that again, because if I'm right, it's beyond important. From all of this crap that's coming from all directions on YouTube, it appears that whatever the creepy control structure is, they are trying to get us to manifest a major event. I don't believe they can do it on their own. Now, if it is truly cosmic cycles, whoever source created this realm, God or other, then that would seem to be outside of our control or outside of their control. But I don't believe that's not what the evidence shows me. Why would all these leaks, mud flood, reset, global flood, this, that. Oh, what did we have 5 years ago? Planet X, Nibiru, even supported by a NASA finding that there's this huge mass of gravity. We can't see the planet. That's also getting creators of reality to manifest cataclysm. So, again, all of this stuff seems to be in the truth community, not with the regular dopes down the street. So maybe we are the best manifestors or creators of reality. So what do? Well, it's pretty simple. We don't create it. Don't manifest it. Actually develop a practice in your own life, not to manifest it, not to create it. Talk about that on the back end. But this I'm not sure. How much am I going to post? If I have nothing other to say than this, I think this is the most important thing to be said, and looking at tactical analysis of the way the creepy controllers work is pointless. So what am I going to post about? Tell another story about a visit to Europe, I guess. We'll tell some fun stories, and 10,000 people, one sub. But if this video gets out to enough people, that's my contribution. That's the best I can do. So let's just switch gears. Something I've said many times. What is the creepy control structure? Who's in the back room? Who did George Bush report to? Dick Cheney and the Dick Cheney movie that's coming out? Who did he report to? Okay, like I've said many times, and sorry to those who have been with me many, many years, if we were ever going to know who's ultimately pulling the strings, we would know by now. Therefore, the matrix reality is structured as such for we immortal spirit and souls having this experience of life on this realm, life to learn a lesson. We are here to learn a lesson, to better ourselves, to level up, to foster soul tokens, and to move on. It's a never-ending game of Clue. We're never going to know, pull that curtain back and see it was Colonel Mustard in the study with the wrench. We're never going to know that. So, is it Satan? Is it Enlil? Is it Enki? Is it the Nephilim? Is it the Archons? Is it the interdimensional aliens? Is it the reptilians? Is it the giants? Is it Alex Jones' fat bulbous ass? Is it who gives a flying F who it is? Once we learn that the matrix that we're in, however real you believe it to be, we're never going to be able to pull back. There it is. Is that the Wizard of Oz sick metaphor showing us, the Wizard of Oz metaphor showing us that there is somebody pulling levers, and the subliminal message that gets in is all you got to do is even a little dog like Toto with an IQ just above Forrest Gump's can pull that curtain back and just there it is, expose who's pulling the levers. So we grew up with Wizard of Oz. We just pull the curtain back and eventually we can expose everything. This matrix reality construct is such that there's no curtain to pull. We're never going to know. Oh, sorry, I left out the AI supercomputer that is now generating reality with the reality virus, the mind virus, and the reality hijacked construct that is overlaying our own reality. I forgot to put that in the mix. Is that on the table? Sure. Do we need to know exactly who's effing with us? No. Who cares? Because the answer or how to fight it is the same, no matter who it is or what it is. Now I'm going to get back to the most important part or the new element of this video that I haven't talked about much in the past, that they seem to be trying to get us to create the cataclysm or the hell for them. That's the last part. But just one last piece here. It's extremely important, but you have heard this before. So what can we do? Again, it's not John Connor sexy. All we can do is not feed the vampire. you just have to. We're never going to know what the system is. So just picture it as, let's just assign it, it's Lestat from Interview with a Vampire. It's Lestat. Okay? So what do you do? Do you do what, like a militia group would want to do and take up arms against it? Or do you just get your pitchforks and your torches and you take Lestat on head to head? But he has the strength of 10 Hercules, and he can move 20 times faster than a bat in the middle of the night. You just take him on directly? No. The only thing you can do is starve Lestat so he can't feed from you, off of you. We're going to find a way to build a garlic home so he can't come in at night. Then we'll conduct all of our commerce during the day when he can't leave his coffin. We're going to starve Lestat until he's no more. So the answer isn't sexy, but it's all we have. We starve the system. Whenever possible, don't give it any time, attention, money. Yes, you have to turn the lights on. Yes, you have to put food on the table for your kids. There's only so much we can do. But every turn, every time you have a fork in the road during your day, will this feed the system or can I do without? Will this feed the system or is there another way of doing it? If everybody made that decision at every fork in the road, the cumulative exponential effect would be massive, massive. There's also feeding the vampire, not just with physical things like paying, going into a liquor store and handing over 5 quarters and getting that one shot of Fireball cinnamon whiskey. There's other ways of feeding the system. Oh, I'm fearful. The news is saying there's new tensions with Russia. I'm fearful. The fear goes out of you into the ether, and the dementis suck it. Fear, jealousy, covet of what others have. Anger. I mean, just all the negative, the 5 deadly sins. Where'd you think that came from? The 5 deadly sins. The system created it itself. The system always shows us the truth in a roundabout way. 5 deadly sins was created by the system itself. Do I know that for a fact? No, but that's the way I know this. That's the way this matrix operates. The system itself says, well, we're gonna create this thing called the. Did I say the 5 deadly sins? I'm sorry, the 7 deadly sins. I think I'm talking about the 5 deadly venoms. My favorite kung fu movie. The centipede, the snake, the scorpion, the toad, and the lizard. The 5 deadly venoms. My favorite kung fu movie. No, the 7 deadly sins. The system says, well, yeah, we want him to do all these things so we can vampirically feed from it. So let's put this thing out to combat the cosmic law of karma, show them what not to do. Then they're going to do it anyway. Then we can't, if we ever get pulled into the cosmic law of karma before the cosmic law of karma judge, we'll have a defense. We gave it to them. They ignored the 7 deadly sins. That's how this reality works. So just you don't feed the vampire any way you can. You just even fear. You can't just think it's Lestat. And are you feeding it with a negative energy, frequency, emotion? Or are you literally feeding it by running out and seeing the new Star Wars movie in the theater? Feeding the Disney demonic machine directly, loading up on the popcorn and the hey, if you absolutely have to see Star Wars, wait a few years until you can get an old dusty DVD at a Goodwill store or something. That at least is a minimal way to feed it. Everybody has 100 times a day where that fork in the road presents itself. Even as something as simply as I'd like to tune into CNN for 5 minutes, but no, I'm not even going to go on the CNN number because my cable box records everything I do. And I'm never gonna go on a cable news channel again, even if I have my cable box, as I do, to watch the college football bowls and the Philadelphia Eagles and certain things like that. I'll watch some Blue Planet or Animal Planet and things like that. But I will never rest my number on Fox News or a news outlet unless in the past it has something to do with this channel where I want to educate myself as to what weekly ruse they're trying to pull off now. I have done that in the past, but I'm not going to do that stuff very much. So I'll never let my cable box record that I ever spent even a second on a news channel. That's basically nothing. It seems like nothing. If it was collectively done by a few million people, it would be incredibly significant. So you can't feed it. It's not sexy. Sorry. That's the answer. Matt, you don't have any answers. That's the answer. That's all we have. And then in whatever time presents itself, you work on yourself. What am I here to do? How do I level up? How do I get more in touch with every aspect of myself, the aspects of myself that have been hidden by this system, or aspects of ourself, our consciousness that's not even in this avatar body, that's somewhere else? Meditation. How do I, if this system wants to trap me here after my death, how do I get out of here? How do I prepare to be a powerful being upon the day of my death? All of this stuff, this going inward, not all this Wolf Blitzer situation room bullshit distraction. So, look, that's what we do. Well, not sexy enough for you. You can go back to analyzing all the fake events and waiting for QAnon to save you, and go back and tune back into the Lionel Nation. I mean, give me a break. So the other aspect, and again, I haven't talked about it much because I don't I don't really understand what's going on in this regard. But I just sniff that they're really trying to have us manifest some sort of cataclysm or hell that they're creating. They can't do it. We do it. We're not just here for them to build bridges and to work in factories. They need us to reality create itself. Sorry if the word quantum triggers you. Call it whatever you want. It also seems like they're in somewhat of a race against time. Or they're trying to bide their time. Almost like if there was a backroom conversation at Bilderberg, or I guess if it's a malevolent AI mind virus with a reality overlay, there is no backroom conversation, but one mailer daemon program talking to another daemon background program, maybe saying, look, most of these fools are still fooled by the Russians hacked the election, Russians hacked the election, Russians hacked the election, and all the same Kavanaugh hearings and all this nonsense. And then part of it's saying, well, we can't make these ridiculous stories more ridiculous, or actually people are going to start seeing through it. And then the other person in the meeting goes, I don't know what else we can do. We have to go with the same script. We have to just make it more ridiculous. Or let's do another twist with Kim Jong-un. And now we have war with him, then we have peace with him, and let's just throw another part of that script. Let's just keep doing the same nonsense. But won't they finally notice and pick their head above the water and say, this is ridiculous? We have to take that chance. It's almost like that's the conversation, because it's like we only need to get, and here's it, for lack of knowing nothing about astrology, for lack of knowing nothing about nothing, anything about nothing, anything about anything. No, I don't get calls from whistleblowers. I don't get insider information. Mr. Beeks doesn't try to reach out to me from trading places. Mr. Beeks doesn't try to meet me in the orange section of the parking garage. I just observe reality on my own. Well, Greg and I talk. We have no other information. Okay, but it will show you its true nature. I think there's more truth in observing the carrot that the reality dangles in front of us than this whistleblower comes in, or this leaked CIA document, and all this bullshit. No, just observe it in general. So it's almost like I don't know shit about astrology and all the stuff Levette talks about. 90% of it goes right over. I don't understand a damn thing when she starts talking about the hardcore astrological stuff. And after listening to 2 years, I don't get it. But I know they operate by the stars. That's crystal clear at this point. They operate by the stars. So they have a window, it appears to me. And it's likely an astrological window, and it's likely related to what Levette talks about, this 2020 the flip-flopping of cycles between Jupiter being in control and Saturn being in control. Things other than that, I don't understand it. But I know they operate by the stars. They probably do everything by the stars, and they do. There's a window, and it's almost like the conversation they're having in the back room is, we just need to keep these motherfuckers fooled long enough so we can do what we're going to do in this window, like what they did in on 9/11 in whatever astrological window was there. I don't know anything about it. I bet there was some significance there. I don't know anything about it, but that's the way they operate. So let's just keep these motherfuckers fooled, keep going with the same script, just put a new twist on the tired old ridiculous script. If you get real desperate, just, I don't know, announce new Justice Kavanaugh as a tranny. Just, we'll actually announce that, but he's going to stay on the bench in a dress. I mean, whatever ridiculousness, just throw anything at them until we get to our window where, not that we can just go pull the lever, but then we think we can get them through fake stories about Nibiru or fake stories about a new cataclysm coming. We'll get these motherfuckers to create the cataclysm and the reality, the hell itself. I mean, this realm is a mix, my opinion, of heaven and hell. Okay, I just don't buy that at this point it's 100%, AI mind virus, hell screw us over in every regard. I believe there's a malevolent entities or whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter who's behind the curtain, that has found a way to screw with it, hijack it, or overlay it. You call it whatever you want, but this realm, the heaven, is still here. I mean, if you just walking through, so I like to go to Valley Forge Park a lot. And on the right day in spring, when the buds are coming out and the bees are buzzing and certain insects and butterflies and birds, no. I mean, think about it in the true depths of who you are. Inner knowing, gut feeling. What does your DNA tell you? Whatever your consciousness is somewhere outside this realm. Does it tell you that beauty of nature is just a simulated? Look at it's not. It just is that a simulated from a malevolent, hellish, AI computer that's associated with reptilians? No. Okay, it's likely they found a way to fuck with it. They can create more hell by pushing a button, or by, creating any scenario on television, an Ellen DeGeneres selfie moment, all that. They can create hell with a push of a button, and unfortunately, the heaven can't keep up. The scale is no longer balanced. You can't just create new birds and new flowers and new types of trees and a new beautiful jungle cat. That just can't be created. But the hell, let's bomb Syria. They can create hell with a push of a button. So the heaven to hell mix is out of whack, and they want to keep creating the hell. So much so they likely want to manifest, or want us to manifest, some sort of a real hellish situation. Maybe if you get enough people talking about mud floods, if you actually can get, they have a little algorithm worked up by the Whopper computer in war games. Whopper, Whopper computer spits out. If we can get 400,000 of these motherfuckers to actually believe a mud flood's coming, that we have a 66.6% chance that it will manifest. So let's get all these motherfuckers believing in mud flood. Then one day we walk outside and the fucking ground's turning to nothing, and it's rising up to our windows. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Sorry, I shouldn't drop the S, but I'm in that kind of mood. Maybe I will continue. I'm sorry. Go earmuffs, like the movie Old School. Earmuffs. We don't know how reality works. The only one thing we should know is we don't know jack whatever. Anything is on the table. Everything is on the table. So, what do we do? Hey, I don't have any answers. Well, I believe this is the only answer for mankind. I think that's somewhat significant. What if there's a chance I'm actually right? Why would I ever talk about anything else if there's a chance any of this are right? One, don't feed the system. Time, energy, money, attention. Don't feed Lestat. Two, maybe we all can wake up and say this community can actually say and believe we are reality creators. Really, truly believe it. And if anything happens to this channel, what I'm saying right now is the reason it would go. And if there's if there is truth in this, and it were to take off, I can't imagine the system would allow it, with one provision or proviso, which I'll talk about. If we are reality creators, and all the evidence everywhere, our entire lives points to that, then why can't we every morning, every night before going to bed, have I don't know, spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just do a regimented part of your routine where you say, I believe that I, as well as other real, spirited, soulful human beings here, create our reality. The reality I want to see will manifest. The heaven aspects that are here are not getting smaller. They're growing. The hellish aspects are shrinking. This is have I done this formally? No, I'm going to do it right now. Am I going to do it daily now because there's a chance this could work? Yeah, especially if people are like Mandela affected or see crazy little weird shifts in reality itself. If there's any chance there's no downside to doing this. 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day. Do it right now. The heaven that exists here, I'm going to give my energy to. It will propagate. It will become more noticeable. It will become more dominant. The heaven aspects here, the hellish aspects are becoming, and I'm creating that. I'm going to create more. They're going to become more pathetic. They're going to become weaker. They're going to become a laughingstock. They're going to not be able to cause or create any more hell. Whatever they're trying to manifest will not manifest. Whatever type of hell or cataclysm they're trying to manifest will not happen. In fact, whatever space they open up, or if they create a slot for that hell, the heaven is going to insert itself in that space, whatever space they're trying to create for it. Whatever they've put aside, the heaven's going to take its place, not the hellish aspects of this realm, or cataclysm, or reset of humanity, or any other nonsense that's brewing up all over YouTube. I see a world, or I create a world, you create a world, where there are crystal clear blue skies. And whatever sick, weird reason these trails are in the sky, there is no more reason for it. It doesn't exist. I like to see or create a world, or a world. No, there is no want. You must in reality creation. I know you must step into it. Okay, I want to talk about that in a moment. You must simply step into it. You can't say I want this to happen on this date. That never works. Okay, I'm going to get back to that. That's critical in a lot of areas of our lives. You say, I see people sitting around the Jiffy Lube. Okay, and people that no truthers are even there, and just two regular people, and the presentation of politics has become so ridiculous and loses all of its believability that one person at the Jiffy Lube, no conspiracy theorists present, says to the other one, are they really talking about Russians hacked the election again in some new, is this getting ridiculous, or is it me? One person saying to another stranger. I see that happening 1,000,000 times a day as this reality script gets more ridiculous. I see the regular people that can't see. I don't mean to be arrogant or come across. You talk into a little light for 20, 30, 40 minutes. It's not easy. You just keep saying things the right way. Try it for 1 minute sometimes. Just talking to a little light. It's not easy. I see people just seeing the ridiculousness of it on their own without having to be hounded by a conspiracy theorist saying, why would you think that Elon Musk could put a sports car into a billion-year orbit around Mars when nothing happened to the tires, and he said he didn't change the car. Why wouldn't the tire explode? I want people to notice it on their own. I see it happening. I see it happening. I see people saying, sports car in a billion-year orbit? I see people saying that's ridiculous without even the influence of a conspiracy theorist. So I'm going to do this every day. That and not feeding the system, not offering your arm every day to Lestat, it's all we have. But I don't make that seem like that's all we have. We have one little rock left in the tiny little slingshot. If we're right about this, and that all we have is the most powerful thunderbolt, Zeus's thunderbolt, or most powerful sword in all I don't want to downplay that. If we're reality creators, by the way, I don't mean to say that's all we have. We're kind of screwed because we have one little tiny thing left. No, it's massive, and it's a game changer. And if this channel gets wiped out, it's because of what I'm saying here, and we'll know what I'm saying is right. Now, the last part I was going to talk about was when people talk about reality creation. There's an interesting story relates to actually a dietitian, somebody that helped people lose weight. And I don't know if I've ever told this before, but it's very, very important, and it relates to this very important topic. He found that when somebody came to him and was 350 pounds, it was never ever say, by April 10th, we're going to be here, or by next fall, you're going to be down 100 pounds. Never put it out in the future. He learned this. Now, he didn't know anything about quantum reality creation. He just knew that you simply are it now, he told his clients. You're 300 pounds, and to show muscle tone and to be healthy, you need to go from 300 to 210 at your height and weight, and your height as a man. 300, you're going to go to 210. You're there now. You've already won. People have said, you kind of, in a way, you just need to step into it. You're there now, and you just live your life as if it's there, and it will be there. Putting it into the future takes it away from all we have now, the now. And this guy knew that that's psychologically reality creation. Psychologically, that's how you tell your clients, and it worked. And I watched it, and I said, you know what? The quantum aspects of what he's saying, or reality, he doesn't even realize it, but that's what's going on here. That's what's going on here. And the worst of that is what somebody close to me does all the time. We'll go out and have a huge Indian food with giant mounds of roti bread, just tons of carbohydrate, garlic roti, onion, naan, and I'll start tomorrow. That's what they say, start tomorrow. That is the worst. Again, putting it out in the future, you're done. You're just done. But you can take this concept and do it into anything. Success, happiness. If I get this new TV for Christmas, I'm going to be able to enjoy my sports, and then I'll be happy in the future. However you want to talk about reality creation aspects, I am happy now, and everything I do will reflect what I want to, not what I want to be. No, see, that's the wrong language. It's all about using the right language, casting the right spell. Cast this. If you talk in their language, which is casting spells, and talk about in the future, that's not affecting you at all. Okay, at all. Maybe there'd be a tiny chance if you realize that future day, and you could say, well, okay, I'm going to step into it on that day, but you just step into it now. Happiness, success. Doesn't mean materialism and being able to buy Xbox for Christmas, and no anxiety, no stress, no fear, health. You just do it now. You step into it now. Even what I'm saying, the principle behind is, even if you're the most sickly thing right now, it exists now. And not that I hope I feel better next Tuesday. Now, I don't know the ins and outs of how all of that works. I just know that is absolutely the right path to take. It works, and I'm not an expert at it, but I'm going to try to practice it the best I can, as much as I can. So, don't feed it every time you offer it. Do never offer it your arm, lestat your arm, but then develop a practice where, what do you have to lose? I think you have to really reality create. You have to believe it. You can't hope or anything. But what do you have to lose? Just picture, you know, I mean, I always would. I know John McCain is dead, but I would always use John McCain. I mean, he was always my laughing stock. He just was a pathetic creature to me, more than George Bush and even some of the other pathetic creatures, the Wicked Witch of whatever, like Nancy Pelosi. Let's use Nancy Pelosi. Just these politicians. We will create a scenario where they are just laughing stocks to the regular people, not even way outside of our group. And whatever real nasty hell they're trying to manifest, we are simply not going to allow that to happen. And if they're gonna, you're gonna plant a tree, you got to dig a hole. If there's a slot they're building in time, space. I'm just talking out of my what. Who knows how they manipulate or have hijacked this reality? But if you want to plant a tree, you got to dig a hole. You got to work beforehand. And if they're allocating a slot to implement their hell, we're going to replace it with heaven on earth. And you can't just say that. You have to be concrete in your thinking. Picture inner cities with people rejuvenating their community. No trash on the streets. Picture no traffic jams. You have to picture it concretely. Picture it. There's just you can't say I want racial harmony. That's not reality creation. And I'm not an expert in this area, but there's certain things that are just plain as day. And you just simply have to picture it. Blue skies, no chemtrails. Never going to see another chemtrail again. Well, Matt, don't you know that those chemtrails are actually it's a desperate measure the cabal is using to save the atmosphere? Well, then I'm going to manifest that the conditions or whatever they're being used for to save our asses, if that's what you believe, that condition then no longer exists. Just take it as far as you need to take it until the hell is replaced with more heaven. Look, do I have all the answers in these regards? No. This is the area I'm going to pursue. This is the only thing that matters in life itself. Breaking down why groups are rioting, breaking down why grieving fathers are smiling the day after their little kids are gunned down in fake shooting events, pondering why, what actually we know from Cape Canaveral, giant rockets goes up, and then what happens after that. Who gives a shit? So why would this channel even need to have any more videos than this? This is it. That's all there is. That's all there is. That's all that's necessary. The George Bush creatures are in this realm, potentially, like I said, to play. They're here to play a role. They're playing the role they were intended to play on this realm. We may have put them here to play the role. The purpose of life is that life has meaning. This isn't, it's not just preparing for the trick after death. We're here to do shit now. Now is the gates are open now to gain our soul tokens, to better ourselves. This is what it's for. let's wait on for Jesus to come. Let's wait. Let's just prepare for the trick after death. Let's just bide our time. No, it's like this is the people don't realize it. The people like if it's I'm trying to think of an analogy. I can't. But here's a horrible analogy, but we all need water to live, rainwater. Come on back, computer. Hello. Okay. Still recording? That was weird. We need rainwater, but oh, I need to collect rainwater to for my sustenance for life, but it's pouring outside. We're inside. It's pouring. All we need to do is take some buckets and put them on the roof, and it'll fill with water, and we can drink our fill. And you can only do that when it's pouring rain. Um, but that's what this existence is. We need the water for our soul tokens. It's pouring rain in this life. Let's collect. It's not about let's wait. No, now is what we came here to level up. We came here to do something. This is whenever there's whenever there's tremendous risk and tremendous getting effed over, there has to be a balance. This whole realm is duality, right? It's so duality. There's a lot of merit to people say that we think this is life and this is actually death, and it's so dual that maybe this is death and what the next thing is actually life, because everything is dual in 180 degrees backwards here. So but it doesn't totally violate those principles to say if if this life is difficult, hard, a trial, a test, you get effed over in every way, the George Bush creatures vampirically suck from you, then from a soul token or spirit perspective, there has to be the reward. If you believe this realm is of duality, the reward, the positives must be equal, always must be equal. So the more they F with us, the more the more this reality must offer us something. The more they F with us, what does it have to offer? The more an opportunity to find our true selves, our true nature. To, I've made some little notes in a sketchbook that maybe we were counseled before coming into this realm or this existence. And somebody basically said something like, wait a second, the natural progression of light units, what you need to do to become a true being of whatever, I'm just making this stuff up, is a million years. But if you go into this thing called Earth, you can get all of that experience. It's like somebody going to college and saying, if you could pass this one class, you can get your degree after one class. But the chances of you passing are very low, and it's extremely, extremely difficult. And somebody's saying, yeah, I'm going to take that chance. I'm going to take this one brutal class. If I pass it, I get my degree. But most people fail. It's not going to be easy. That could be what this realm is. And if you don't do what you need to do there in that realm, well, we have an agreement with the interdimensional lower frequency beings like the George Bush creatures that they'll just keep you there as long as necessary. And time and space inside that snow globe is totally separate from outside, so you could be trapped there millions and millions and millions of years, recycling with the George Bush creatures over and over and over again. So you go into that reality and you want to, go past go, collect $200. You want to make a big jump. You want to take the big risk comes with the big reward. But whatever the reward is, it has to be done now. Not wait or this or that. We got to do it now. We got to find every day. We got to find a way. What the hell? Why were we put into this snow globe? And we better figure it out now, before our death, or best case scenario, we'll be right back here again, and another Bush will be running for president in 2045 or 2055 or whenever, 10 years after we're born again, recycled back here. I don't, is this a recycling prison plan? I don't know. I don't know. It's on the table. Anything like that is on the table, because that is the way these creatures behave. They put things into motion that they themselves won't see in their mortal bodies. They're incredibly patient, and then some. It implies that when they create their great work that'll take 100 years or 200 years, it implies they seem like they operate as if they will see it in another incarnation. So if they, in their actions, imply that they will see it, then potentially they're gonna try to do the same thing to us. But we'll be born in poverty. We'll have our complete mind wipe. We'll start over. We'll start over being manipulated from birth, and it'll just get worse because soon they'll do the brain implant. And so, anyway, God, this has been long. Anyway, guys, this is all I have. Hopefully, if one or two pieces of this resonates with you, you can use it, then I have done all I can do. I'm not chasing any system pissed on breadcrumbs anymore. Bye bye.